Transformers 1 is directed by Josh Cooley, and it features an ensemble voice cast that includes Chris Hemsworth, Brian Tyree Henry, Scarlett Johansson, Keegan-Michael Key, Steve Buscemi, Lawrence Fishburne, and John Hamm. The film depicts the origins and early relationships of Optimus Prime and Megatron and how they forever changed the fate of Cybertron, which is the home planet of the Transformers. Alright, so the movie is directed by Josh Cooley, and this is, I believe, after looking it up, I looked it up just to make sure I got my facts straight. That yes, Transformers One, this movie is his second film that he directed. The first film he directed, which marked his directorial debut, was Toy Story 4. Now, see, I've seen Toy Story 1 through 3, but I've never seen Toy Story 4. To this day, I haven't seen Toy Story 4, and it came out in 2019. But I heard that movie, Toy Story 4, had received a lot of critical acclaim. People loved the movie, which was very surprising because, like, after Toy Story 3, I thought that was it for the Toy Story franchise. But then Pixar, and they had new ideas. They had new ideas for the future of the franchise, and I guess it worked. It definitely worked. So yeah, he directed Toy Story 4, and this film, Transformers 1, but he also co-wrote the screenplay, the script for the film Inside Out, the first Inside Out film. So yeah, like that's great, and attaching him to this Transformers movie it's good. It was good to hear. Here's the thing about the Transformers franchise. All right, and maybe one of these days, I will do a movie review of every single Michael Bay Transformers movies. But I thought the Michael Bay Transformers movies were utter dog shit and garbage, steaming pile of just trash. They were just trash, garbage and trash. The Michael Bay Transformers movies. And then Bumblebee came out, and it was directed by the guy, I forgot his name, but it was directed by the guy who made Kubo and the two strings or something like that, which I heard fantastic things about from critics and audiences. And so Bumblebee, I loved Bumblebee. When that movie came out, holy shit. That movie was finally, I was screaming to the heavens that finally we got a good Transformers movie in Bumblebee. And then Rise of the Beast came out, and I thought it was I had mixed feelings of Rise of the Beast. There were some things I liked, some things I didn't like of Rise of the Beast. You can check out my review for it on my YouTube channel. But yeah, and then you had this movie, Transformers 1, and let me tell you, before I saw this movie, I saw critics, people were posting their reviews. Critics were posting their reviews. I guess the embargo lifted, and critics were posting their reviews, and they were praising the story, the humor, action sequences, the animation, and the voice performances. And I was like, really? And it got a near, it had a perfect 90. It had a 97% audience score, or critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. It was really good. It was getting a lot of great feedback, and a lot of great response. And I was like, okay, now I definitely got to check this movie out. And ladies and gentlemen, holy shit, Transformers 1 was an absolute fun delight. I had a really fun time watching it. I don't think it's a great movie, but I thought it was a good movie. A nice, fun, a bit of energy, a bit of, energetic film. Yeah, and I heard, and I found out that this movie is Chris Hemsworth very first animated like voice acting, because like he's never done Chris Hemsworth has never done voice acting before in his career, in his acting career. This is his first acting career, and I watched an interview where he explained that the reason he wanted to be a part of this movie was because he wanted to do it for his kids. Um, he wanted to do something fun, and I guess I didn't remember the rest of the interview, but I guess his kids love the Transformers franchise, and he wanted to be a part of it, which was great to hear. And I thought, like, as a first time voice actor, Chris Hemsworth did a tremendous job. Scarlett Johansson, this isn't her first time voice acting. I do remember she voiced the snake from the live action Jungle Book movie. She also voiced the mermaid princess. But I know, like the everyone knows she voiced the mermaid princess in the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the first movie. I love that movie. Um, oh man, like Nickelodeon, like aired that on a repetitive basis. But yeah, like Scarlett Johansson this isn't her first rodeo when it comes to voice acting. And I believe Brian T. Henry also has done some voice acting too here and there. It's not none of it's really popping out in my mind. But yeah, I thought the voice acting with the performances by the actors were really great. I loved it. I will say the villain, yeah, the story does falter a bit. The villain, like I was thinking to myself, like this person that I no spoilers, by the way, but there's a certain person, there's a certain character, and I think the trailer hinted at it. Maybe you already know that there was something, there's a character that our protagonist idolize, and yeah, it just doesn't work. It was predictable where they were going with the story, so yeah, it does falter there. um yeah, it's just there was some predictability, I guess you could say. um But yeah, it's just I just thought it was an absolute fun delight. The animation was great, the direction by Josh was fantastic, the screenplay, um, there was a lot of complexity, um, and in the performances and the direction and all of that. Um, Not really much. I it just you know what, if you know anything about Optimus Prime and Megatron, you know that sooner or later, all the pieces. When you watch this movie, like you're gonna start seeing it's an origin story, and you're gonna start seeing how they become who they were, in the future. And speaking of the future, I have heard that they are planning on making, like, if they said that the if this movie is successful, they are planning to do a trilogy. Um, and yeah, I want to see a sequel. I would After watching this movie, I want to see a sequel. I'm okay with seeing a sequel because I had a fun time, and you guys definitely will. But anyway, thank you so much, everyone, for taking the time to listening to my review for Transformers One. I feel like, with Bumblebee and Transformers One and some parts, not all, but some parts of Rise of the Beasts, I feel like the Transformers franchise is starting to, well, the film, not, I don't know about the television series because I don't watch the TV, but for the film, whether it's animated, both animated and live action, I feel like they're going into I feel like they're going into a right direction. um and I hope they keep it up. I hope they keep up the pace because this is just amazing and phenomenal, and an absolute fun delight that with some predictability here, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to my review. Please like and subscribe. Definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, because when you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll be helping me out by a ton, by a bunch, and that would really mean a lot, because when you subscribe to my channel, you'll be part of my community, part of the family, and I would very much like to welcome you on board. And yeah, thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.